So today is International Women's Day, March 8th, 2017. And I wanted to make this video because I wanted to point out something that no one is addressing. There's this kind of huge elephant in the room when it comes to International Women's Day that I'm really surprised that no one really kind of, like, it's not that that's an eye, but just no one talks about it. No one opens up and says, yay, this is a problem here. And I think, everyone wants to be on board with it. And that's the issue, that everyone wants it to be a thing and won't address the issues with it because of that. Even the people who are, you'd think, push back against liberal narratives as much as possible, International Women's Day seems to get a pass. And it's not just because, it's just flooded in the media and whatnot. There's alternative media out there. People can come out and speak out against it. And people have spoke about controversial things before, so this shouldn't be any different. But I guess I'm going to take a crack at it. And I guess my first issue, to talk about is that it's not a real holiday. Remembrance Day is a real holiday. That fills the hearts of people across a nation. And everyone takes time to humble themselves with the thought of, there are people out there who, put their lives on the line, who got the skills necessary to help us preserve our nation state if the time should come that that's needed. The people who would, go out and fight the wars for us, and you can argue whether those wars are justified or not, but, there are people out there who are willing to do it, who are, a class of people who allow, our nation state to continue existing. And I'm not, the type of person who says you owe a debt to veterans in the way of, you have to honor them, but I think it's a good thing to be humbled by. And that's a real holiday. That's something that affects the nation on a deep emotional and spiritual level. And International Women's Day is just an opportunity to open your mouth and balk some agenda. You can replace women with any other group, and the entire mindset, the scope around it, the actual feeling around the day would not change. International Women's Day could just as easily be International Blacks Day or International Gays Day, and nothing would have changed. Something that would make it worth celebrating is if it was about the unique contributions and values that women provide in your life. There is a special thing, a special unique touch that only a mother can bring, that only a sister can bring, that only, a daughter can bring into your life, that your wife can bring into your life. And that is something I think is very much worth celebrating. But that's not what International Women's Day is about. It's about pushing a narrative, pushing about, equality, and feeling good about the fact that you push forward this narrative. And people have tried to kind of push it to make it about the achievements of certain women in industry that have done great things, but the pedestal that they're placed on is toxic because it comes from the same core that most of liberalism comes from. For example, it reeks of affirmative action. The idea of, there are victim groups out there and we're going to lower the standards so that, we can have equality, in the world. But it's not equality, for example, with, if a college lowers its standards for a black person to get in compared to a white person, because they're going with the affirmative action type model, that's not equality. Equality is when you are equal to the standards of other people, not when you have the standards lessened so that you can be on an equal footing, that you tilt and change the playing field to advantage one team over another. That's not equality. It's and to kind of promote it like that is, I think, really harmful. And I think that's the sourness that comes from celebrating the achievements of women on International Women's Day, because it's cutting out all the men from the competition and saying, oh, look how wonderful they are. And there's wonderful things that women contribute, just like how any, group has wonderful things they contribute. But when you cut them short like that, it really sours the accomplishments. And, for that reason, I think, in, people's heart of hearts, it really is a negative effect as much as people want it to be a positive thing in society. I think it really hurts society as large to have International Women's Day as it currently stands. I think it can be changed so that it is a positive factor on society, that is something that is a real holiday, something that should be celebrated. But in its current form, I think it's just hurts. It's just harmful to everyone. And, the fact that no one else is kind of like coming out and saying, hey, we should really do away with International Women's Day. There's a lot of people out there who, aren't afraid of being called a bigot, right? And who will, speak their mind against bad ideas, even still. So this is kind of a mystery to me why this isn't called out. I think it's just because it's not something that people really think about too hard. Or it's also the fact that, they want, in their head they want, the inequality to be a thing, and they think this is a good way of going about it. So they just kind of ignore, the warning signals they get, and it's like, no, it has good ends, we're going to go through with this. So those are my thoughts today on International Women's Day. Put your comments below. Please like the video, it helps. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my email list, which will send you an email every single time a video comes out, so you're assured to get it no matter what. And you can donate to my Patreon if you'd like. Well, until next time, guys.